Hey there, Dengar Stu here. Today's video is about getting the Detroit diesel ready to go back into Renko and is proudly sponsored by MarineEngine.com. I was back up at Adrian's this week, finishing off the finer points of the Detroit diesel, getting it ready to go back into the boat. But first thing we actually started with was changing the shock absorbers on the Land Rover, so I'll show you that too. These plastic covers just come up here, and then down at the bottom of the top mount here you got 4 bolts. What's happening, Detroit? Alright, we're trying to repair this plate, so we're just going to lift it enough to get the pressure off the springs. Adrian's at the controls. You're on safety duty, aren't you, Detroit? Oh, watch out. Yeah. It's just coming apart now.
Now the brake hoses.
A little bit of slack still. Yeah, we're lifting the wheel off the ground now. Yeah, starting to.
Well, it's off the bottom pad.
Ah, it's sitting up, alright. So it's just hung up. That'll be enough. Yeah.
Do I need to go up some more? Just stuck on the...
Yeah, maybe just pry it down and we'll... Yep. I should just... Yeah, just a little bar in here. Just trying to repair this stud. You actually don't need to do anything changing the shocks on these, but one stud on the other side is stripped and this one's snapped, so...
Fully sick lift you got there.
What's that?
Fully sick lift you got there, bro. Still got a little bit of up there. Hasn't run out of... It's still
oomph, yet.
Yeah, it's still got...
Yeah, the wheel was just starting to come off the ground.
Might be the, probably the trailing arm bushers. Pulling it up.
Are yours the portable spring compressors? Can we do it in situ and
Yep.
rattle a little bit? We should have just put some cable ties around it before we lifted.
Probably could, it'd probably be enough.
Maybe, yeah. What do you reckon, Detroit? Safe, sensible, gets your pant of approval?
Good spring, like tension all the way to the last bit, like it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
A lot of travel there, that was only 2 foot.
Yeah, right.
The wheel's not going to, I don't think it's going to come
Flying out.
No.
And, well, that's why we left the wheel on.
That's right, so we've protected.
Protective barrier.
Alright, OH&S.
That's what we want. This puppy. So it doesn't kind of have much of a spline on it, or are they?
Nah, they're just pressed in there.
Yeah. So if we knock that out,
we'll just get a bolt.
Yeah, grind the head a bit, or peen the head, heat it and peen it to be.
Well, then we'll be back.
Peen it in place.
Yeah. Well, is it? I just steel, yeah.
Well, you can't heat suspension components, can you?
No.
Against the law.
Against the law, but this is not really a suspension component. It's a retainer.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
There's one, dude.
Thank you.
They actually might be spot welded in, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
See if it'll pop out. Is that there or not?
It's just bending the plate.
I'd say he's been spot welded in there. Yeah, look.
I drill it out. Although,
Well, I reckon if we attack that with the grinder, just very gently.
Yeah, right.
Without safety glasses.
Of course not.
It'll be fine. I haven't cut the plate. I've polished it, but I haven't cut it. I promise.
Looks good.
Promise Uncle Stu, I've shown it lots of love.
Now we just smack it with a hammer.
Yeah, let's be vicious. We're at this point now, aren't we? It doesn't...
Yeah.
It's all...
Nice. Success.
Yeah.
One down, one to go. Yeah, right. It's just where it's still two of them. Yeah.
I'll just dress them off.
To make a couple of new studs to replace the broken two, Adrian put high tensile bolts into the lathe and just machined the head of the bolt down to the right thickness.
Perpendicular to the moon, the sunrise,
everything.
Equilibrium there, so...
Planets have aligned.
Planets have aligned and here we go.
Well done. The stud was then brazed in to make sure it wouldn't rotate while the nut was being tightened.
So we now just cut that to size and...
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Should be.
Add to resume, Land Rover engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, it does come to a hard stop, doesn't it? Just
yeah,
all of a sudden bang.
Bang, yeah.
There. Lovely. Should we hold it while it goes down?
Yeah.
I'll just put my fingers right in there.
What? I'll put a nut.
Oh, yeah.
How's that sound?
That's even safer. No, let's not do it that way.
Let's not do it that way,
That's too safe.
What?
I'll just hold that way. Just lower it down. I won't put my fingers in, I promise.
Promise?
Promise. Cross my heart. Oh, hang on. Let's rotate this. Where did the spring end have to sit? See this end here. Did that have to sit at a particular point?
Both flat.
Yeah, okay.
They're both spring.
So it doesn't...
has no
locking. Yeah, okay, cool. All right.
So
no worries. It's quite forgiving.
Yeah. For the military mechanics.
Yeah, it's for the British.
Ready?
Hang on, I'm going to put this away. Of course, when I went to move my phone, turns out I stopped it recording, but we just lowered back onto the plate, did the same thing on the other side, got both those mounting plates fixed, and car feels much better, so that's good. Speaking of cars, I've also been working with Mike from She'll Be Right Garage on our Ford LTD project, so I'll show you a little bit of footage when I was there last. Here down at Mike's house again, we're doing a full service on Sleazy today. Now it's running, but, well, you'll see Mike's video for that, but show us what else happened, Mike.
Yeah, look, come on, Stu.
Poor Death Proof.
We crashed Death Proof. 150 kilometres an hour, it happened. We had a missed call. We ploughed into a bank. We did a 180 degrees. We went from 150 to 0 in about 3 seconds. So you can check it out on a few of the links there. But
and it was right near the end of the rally stage?
Right near the end of the stage, about 100 metres from end to finish. So here's the result. You can check out a few of the videos. You can see how the extent of the damage is. But it gives you a bit of an idea. Thankfully, the chassis is all right, but there's a lot of body work and a lot of suspension work to be fixed.
Yes.
Bloody navigators.
Yeah, who was that, Andrew? Oh, yes. Anyway, if there's a man who can do it, Mike, it's you.
Oh, look, we'll have him sorted. We'll have him up and running. And Stewie, I reckon you'll be practicing a bit of navigating for me very soon on February 21st.
Looking forward to that. Rally practice. At least you had your roll cage. So you're saying you hit here, you hit the...
I reckon my head hit that pillar.
Yep.
And Andrew's head hit my shoulder.
Yep.
So that was a nice soft blow for Andrew.
You'll fix it, mate. You reckon a couple of weeks?
Oh, mate, look, give it 2 or 3 videos after this, maybe a 4th, but yeah, I reckon we'll be sorted by the end of Jan.
Nice.
The latest video of Mike and I working together on that project is now online on his channel, She'll Be Right Garage, so I'll put a link to that in the description. Anyway, let's get back to the Detroit.
Bit of a storm coming this afternoon. Well, I say coming, it's actually here. I have, however, trying to fix this water pump, but that's not really a marine thing. What am I doing? I am also polishing up all the brass water pipes off Renko so I can take them up to Adrian's tomorrow. So, now blackout, great. Guess what I'm not doing now? Oh no, power's back. No, it's not. Oh, do I want to walk all the way down there in the rain and get the generator? Not really. Okay, last few jobs for painting. I'm swapping these hex head bolts for these Allen key bolts because they're a bit too close here to get a socket onto. This will just be easier. So wind this one out and swap them all. It's muggy today. Big storm last night, as you saw in the video. And now the sun's come out and all that rain's just making it so humid. Or close, as the British would say. Alright, out with the old, in with the new. New rubber for the water leak we had from the thermostat housing, and then we're going to lift it up a bit and swap out the bolts here for this engine mount. Maybe a little bit more. Yep, there we go, beautiful, thank you.
So
Yeah,
Stu,
nice
I'd like
and
to know
loose.
why
Yeah, didn't take it out in the first place.
Get in the first place and repair this.
Well, actually, I have a memory of all this being rushed, these mounts. I don't know why. You should never rush anything.
There was no need to be rushing. That was very easy to come out.
It was. But I loosened it earlier for you.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, you grabbed it with an arse cheek and spun
Yeah,
it around.
that's it exactly. You're onto it. All ass, no class.
Yeah, so there you go.
All right.
I'd probably clean that.
Clean it up a bit, yep.
Put it back together now. That was a lot worse than what we thought.
Yeah, well, a lot better than we thought, I think, in some ways.
You've left the piston out of the engine there.
Oh, damn. I knew it was a 5-cylinder. So this is a crosshead that Adrian's given me for show and tell. So this is without its skirt?
Yeah, without its skirt, so it's missing the skirt. So the skirt will just slip on. There's a seal there, so that no oil can pass through out into the combustion area or into the air test. And then it's retained by the piston pin being in there, and the conrod actually bolts.
Into the piston
So
pin,
this is an, you probably talked the other day about different piston pins. This is one, and there's the nut, basically the conrod screws to sitting.
Okay.
So if you get one with this and one with a solid pin, 2 different pins, you have to make them all the same in the engine.
Otherwise it's way out of balance.
So I was talking to one of our viewers this morning on the telephone, and I'm not going to know, this is just for pure topic of conversation, but you can't just go and put trunk pistons into a crosshead engine or vice versa. You have to, there's weights that have to be changed on the camshaft gears and stuff, so it all balances out. Otherwise you'll have an engine that'll dance around in your truck with your boat or whatever, or you can have one that sits there nice and you can sit your 50-cent coin on it
Without it going anywhere.
Everywhere. So yeah.
And you were saying also originally that we didn't know what sort of pistons I had, and if I had crossflow and this O-ring had been torn,
there's another reason for it to be blowing oil out and doing all sorts of horrible things. So yeah. So there's a few little things and there's a few tricks. So yeah. But Stu's now got an ashtray for when he I don't know, he doesn't smoke. So
I reckon we put the skirt on here and just make a giant fishing lure.
Yeah, fishing lure, magnetic lure. Maybe we can convert the head to a magnet.
Ah, that's a good idea. Magnet fishing with a Detroit piston.
Yeah.
And do these have the same seals on the end of the skirt for the?
Yes, exactly the same.
Okay.
Exactly the same as the skirts. A little bit different size diameter, but other than that, it is the same principle. Exactly the same principle.
Okay.
So in the oil, in this one actually, it still squirts up through the middle, like your other, like in your trunk piston, it had the little squirter with the 3 holes. This one actually squirts up and then it's all diverted out and it hits the top
Ah, right.
and splooshes out around. That's the idea of these veins.
And only a half bearing on the
Only
middle
a
end.
half bearing because the load is down. There's no two-stroke, all the load's down. So in theory, like I said before, you could drive home with the conrod unbolted and the bottom half still on.
Yep.
You could get it started.
Yep. Interesting.
If you can get it started. Don't try this at home. You could end up with, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and I do have a black eye.
Well, you did tell Damien to take his Cummins out, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
He got angrier than we thought.
He did. He's taking a lashing to me.
Getting there. All right. Looks like it's not going to come out without the rocker cover off. There's the room you need. So what is this? What is it? A Range Rover? What is it? No, Triton, that's it.
My shit bus.
My shit.
If you arrange the letters, actually, it will spell my shit bus.
Oh, you can. Nice.
I've done this before.
That's a tip. top tech tip.
I used to do that on the front of people's Mitsubishi trucks when they didn't like them. My shit bus. Took them weeks to realise. Anyway, this has been misfiring. So I set our injectors this other day. We were under the impression that it was one of the injectors, number one, misfiring. So we put one in, given it a test run, still hasn't fired. It's still clean. There's no fire in the hole. We had a bit of heavy breathing, so we're hoping it's not a hole in the piston. So Stu's bought his
Yes.
Dr. Doolittle camera. I'm going to poke him down the hole and have a sticky beak.
Have a look before we go any further.
Yeah, so if we've got to pull the head off, or we've actually got something that's an electrical issue and the injector's not firing and giving us another symptom, which is injector's not been firing, piston's becoming unsealed, so it is letting it breathe a bit heavier around that piston. That's,
And being common rail, it's fired by the ECU.
Fired by this horrid looking plug. So with these, I know some of you aren't Mitsubishi people or whatever, but if you've got one, be very careful getting the rocker cover off. If you just lift and tear bast, you will break number 4 injector.
Right.
It will knock the top off it. You'll
okay,
smash
yeah.
the electronic top off, and there's very little people, if anyone, around that can reset them. And they won't sell you the part, they want to sell you the whole injector. I did this. Hence the experience.
Yes.
So I've done it. I didn't do it on this engine, but this was a long time ago. But
Yeah, the trick is never do it twice.
yeah, so and get caught. It gets caught on the wiring harness and all under here. So just make sure.
Under the plenum chamber, just
Nothing nice about any of it. So this is the 5.5mm one, or is this
good question. Let's put the calipers on. I don't know.
How's that looking down there now?
Well, it's just up there. Technology has failed us, so we're going to
Back to the
old school.
a good yellow funnel. Which is some calibration fluid to measure how much.
And when you put 50 litres in, you'll know there's a big hole.
Well, that's half a litre.
Oh yeah, getting there.
Look, we're full now. But there's a hole.
Disappearing. Yeah.
Oh.
It's just going straight away.
Going straight down, a hole in the piston.
Dear.
So,
Oh well.
here we go, pull the head off.
Head off. Oh man.
Poor little engines. And hasn't done a lot of kilometres, only done 60,000.
Oh, you're kidding. Wow. That's nothing, isn't it?
So yeah.
Oh, more unbolting.
Sorry Ian, you Kangaroo Edward, brother of Root Head. They're one for the Americans.
Kangaroo edge, I'll remember that. All right, let's put this thermostat back on. Adrian's got the integrated short socket with the uni joint, which we can use to get this final bolt. So the little integrated uni joint socket seems to be doing the trick nicely with the rocket cover off. There's a tip for you. Thank you, Adrian. All right,
That
we're
should
in.
just centre itself up pretty much.
Yeah, it's a bit of a V on it.
Yeah, and then it just do the hose clamp up.
Right.
Not stupid, but not...
Yeah, don't go bonkers with it.
I'll probably do.
This is the chopped up seal that caused our water leak here. New one in, done. I think I'm going to swap this for a little petcock type thing so we can bleed from here easily. A few people had concerns about air getting trapped here, but really once you bled it, unless you've got an air leak in your system and you have a problem that needs solving, you can't get air reintroduced. You happy there?
Come up a bit more.
That way?
Out there somewhere, right there. Up a little bit. Up out there. I'll tack it and then you can let go.
Now, do you need me to go and find some 1-inch pipe? I should have asked them. They probably just had it in the shell.
Let's have a look. I might actually. Could be the answer to what we need.
Even had a flange on one.
Yeah, well, it was an old turbo pipe, so.
Oh, okay. Yep. And so this was an oil drain from a turbo back down, is it?
Yeah,
nice. That's cool.
Pipe, yeah.
Oh, nice. So we got beer keg, 453, 471.
I actually like that.
Yeah. Well, so maybe just a little bit of hose at each end, though, is the go. A tiny bit of straight on there. Nah, you want to do it? Solid? Yeah. All right.
It's got to be nice.
Okay.
So then we can put, and then we'll cut that. That'll bring that down there, and then we'll cut one of our 180s.
Yep.
To suit.
Yeah, whatever angle we need.
Yep. And then we'll there. Oh,
sounds like a plan.
Next up, I installed a little retaining collar for the governor spring. It just slides down onto the bolt and the tail of the spring hooks into it just to keep it in position nicely. So that was a good little upgrade too.
Yeah, it's going heaps now. Flush almost, isn't it? Yeah. Perfect.
What can I say?
Like I bought one.
Oh, hope so.
Better than I bought one.
Better than I bought one.
Custom. Yeah, exactly. Handcrafted.
So I'll leave the little plug in the top for painting, and then I'll put that little
little ball
valve in afterwards. Yeah.
That'll make it. Oh, you can just walk up to turn it.
Yeah. Just make sure water comes out.
Yep. All that around that one. We get a bit of hose.
There to there.
There to there. And have the breather running nicely into the, rather than a bit of hose flapping out here. And
yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Just make it neat and tidy. A couple of nutserts or something.
Use the rest of the.
And just unsweat this hole, sweat that on.
Yeah, could do.
And then it can just stay there. Like you can't. There's no nuts to rust up and seize up and get.
Yeah.
Sucking the salt air, rust the bolts.
Yeah, just put it straight on.
Straight on, and then if you need to get off, just slide.
And then you've only got one hole in it rather than 3 holes for bolt holes, and
yeah. What do you reckon, Stu?
All right, let's do it.
Well, you can go in the top if you like and have a.
Although I've got to say that was almost the perfect angle to there, wasn't it?
Yep. No,
they just almost line up.
There is about the.
So just drill 1 hole in it.
1 hole.
In the airbox.
Perfect.
All right, I'll get that apart.
Something else to do.
Yeah, there's always one more thing you can, but that will look pretty good. And we're confident on the position?
I think here.
Yep.
And then we'll put it on.
And get the angle right when we, yeah.
And we'll give
all right.
It a bit of a. I reckon about there. It's not too close to the top, not too close to the bottom.
Yep. We're just an agreeable culture, that's all.
That's right. So that's the Stu's new battery that he just gave me. Because I only had one and he was sick of swapping batteries.
That's it.
So I've got the room.
Solve this problem.
But not enough batteries and got new ones. Thanks, Stu.
You're welcome.
I'll put it back on charge, but just because you love going on charge.
Every time. So where'd our pipe go?
I lost it.
You cooled it down, didn't you?
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Press fit.
Safety glasses on.
Safety squints.
Yep. Can't see what I'm doing with my fingers.
Yeah, that's it. That's a beautiful thing. Get our angle right.
I get the angle right and a bit of silver solder and we're good to go.
Yeah, should have put those in, should have.
I'll forgive you this time, Stu.
Thanks, mate.
I think it's my studs coming out. I didn't lock them in. Tight it up. Alright.
Angle at angle, looks good. Well, we won't need bolts once we put the hose on, it'll hold it in
It'll
place.
stay there,
Just stay there, yeah, it'd be good. No, I think that's a nice little, yeah,
Doesn't it?
yeah. Yep, spring retainer hose, like there's everything.
It's all happening.
Yep. I think we finally got there. So I'll grab those bits, I'll bring all the other bits tomorrow.
Yep.
Now all the ancillary bits were on and the bits that weren't being painted were taped up. Jennifer got on and started putting some primer on. After that was the moment we'd all been waiting for, which was the fresh coat of alpine green.
Yeah. It's fun. Looks good.
The water-based paints are environmentally friendly.
Nice. Oh, you're back. Thank you. Hey. Not peak too soon. It's looking a lot better. It's a work of art, Adrian.
I don't know about a work of art, but get there. No Picasso. No, can't see me run, can you? Nothing back here.
No, that's it. No, looks good. Adrian's wrestling with the forward jaw chuck to get this exhaust flange centered.
Relatively true.
Yeah.
About 80 how minute ago. Because it's actually inside, you've got to go backwards to
Right, yeah, gotcha.
inside the hole.
Ah, of course, yes. It's pushing out to grab it rather than, yeah.
Inside, yeah.
Just to make it a little bit harder. Now, the reason we're doing this is that we're making a whole new exhaust. Got some new bends, particularly quite a tight bend when it comes straight out. And this is going to allow us to have the raw water come straight out. Because normally with these sorts of Detroits, your exhaust will be going backwards. So they're not anywhere near each other. But in this case, they pretty much just collide. I want this to come straight out because I'm going to have my flow sensor here and it wants to be in that orientation. So we're just going to duct the exhaust straight down. So a bit of rejigging, but I think it's worth it. All these little things that just weren't quite right are all getting sorted. I do want to clean the heat exchanger core up a little bit by just poking the gurney in the other end, the pressure washer. But I don't want it going all over our nice paint that's not 100% dry. So I'm putting this on so I can just put a bit of flexible pipe and just divert the water away. Alright, going to pressure wash this heat exchanger core. Got bad news, Detroit. Actually, it's a combination good news and bad news if you think about it. Here's the good news. Bad news is your spot's gone. Alright, I've redirected the water away. So it shouldn't go all over our paint. Oh mate, I was only going to throw it once, not again. Alright, give it here. I don't want to give it back, but I want you to throw it. It doesn't work that way. Alright. Okay, let's hook this up. Just looking to get that mud out, so I'll take this anode out. It's only temporarily in, because I knew I was going to be doing this. And just, yeah, just backflush it, get the mud out. Alright, first step, bleed the gurney. Do you like playing Bleed the Gurney, do you? Alright, that's enough. Let's fire it up.
Any static hose so we don't catch fire.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I'll let you do it, you can be the
A bit of gigolo.
You can be the jiggler.
Gigolo. Going? Yeah. We going? What's that? That's a red hose. It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell. Yeah, it's going.
Right. Oh, that's easy. Beats holding it up and spilling it everywhere. Now the green was getting dry, it was time to paint the colour onto the logo on the heat exchanger.
So Andrew from Port Hedland, thank you for the carton of beer. We're now discussing the next dilemma. So thanks to your beer, you've created another dilemma.
Adrian's had another genius idea, which is to run from here, a bit of copper line actually, straight to the top of the header tank, so it's just permanently self-bleeding.
Self-bleeding all the time. So
Yep, so we're going to...
pee in the drum.
Yes, get some water or some coolant out so we can undo this fitting and go to the little olive fittings for the copper line. Yeah,
I've got
right.
a void so we can weld up
Yep,
taper in there so we've got
looks
plenty
awesome.
to fill.
Yep.
Just see how it sits. You want it on that way, didn't you?
Yeah, that's the way. Yep,
Yeah.
perfect.
It sits.
Nice. Yeah, looks good.
Be level. Lift that up level again, that will be right.
Yeah, gotcha. So it's the same angle there to there. Yeah, perfect.
So
Yep. What do you reckon, Pete?
Sorry?
What do you reckon? Passes?
Great.
Thank you, Adrian. All right, now, first test of the self-bleeding mechanism, which we can confirm is working by disconnecting. Actually, when we put this fitting in, did we poke anything through?
I did.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
There was a little bit of...
A little bit of crud, yep. Because that'd be the only showstopper, wouldn't it, if it just was blocked for any reason?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I made sure yesterday. There was a little tiny bit of shit in there, but...
Nice. All right.
Right, so we'll give it a little just to... What do with my little padding area? It should have water at the bottom.
Just... as a little test. Yeah, right, there you go.
There.
Beautiful.
There's no air there
And
either.
it should only get up, it's pretty full, isn't it? But it may only get up to here before it reaches water level.
That's right.
After that, we got the engine loaded onto the truck, ready to drive it down to Brooklyn and get it back into the boat. I'll be doing all that next week, and I'll be sure to give you a really good look over the engine once it's in the boat. You hold the fort, Daffy. I'll be back. Just got a call from a friend. She dropped her phone in the water, so we're going to go for a quick dive and probably take the metal detector, swing it round, see if we can find it again. Happened not long ago, so it shouldn't be too bad. Is that it? That was a phone sound, if ever I heard a phone sound.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Glad I bought that actually. You can't see it. You could never find it if you weren't
Probably not.
detecting.
We have to see what it does off the race, but it's not a sick car, obviously. Yeah, the visibility, like, as soon as you go under the water, it's just black.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, thanks for watching. The engine's looking amazing. Huge thanks to Adrian for all his hard work and expertise. He's a great professional and a great friend. You know, I really appreciate him helping me out with this. It's been, I don't know how it would have happened otherwise. So thank you, Adrian. I really appreciate it. I now have the engine back in the boat, not wired up or anything yet. So next week we'll hopefully be under power again for the first time in about a month. All right, well, take care. I'll catch you then. See ya.
Daffy's clearly just laid an egg because she's making the "aren't you proud of me" noises. Go round, Daffy. God, for a chicken, you're such a goose. There you go. Nope. There's one. You missed one. Daffy. Look. Look, there's some there too. Haha. Daisy got to eat some because she was behind you. You didn't see. Alright. God, look at your head. Get that stuff off your head. Alright. Let's get some seed as well. Shake your head.